Welcome to the shop management module. Now that you've done all of the work and you've created an amazing Etsy shop and product listings, all you have to do is make sure that everything's running smoothly, you're managing your listings, you're fulfilling your orders, and in the next few videos, I'm going to show you how to do that step by step. So let's get to it. So I wanted to point out a few listing options that you have when you're managing your listings. So first, obviously, you can edit them, you can duplicate them to create new ones, you can change the text, the images, the inventory, anything that you need to. You can also feature them. So if you click on the star that we're going to show and feature them, then it's going to show the customers when they visit your shop storefront, your featured items. So you can quickly choose the ones that you want to feature. Also, you can view stats for that particular listing and analyze it and see how well it's doing, how customers are actually seeing it or encountering your listing. So very helpful thing to do. You can also choose to have Etsy advertise your listing on other websites. And as we mentioned before, this comes with a price of 15% of the total sale cost if you actually make a sale. So only on the orders that they've actually got it for you. And obviously, I'm going to show you guys how to do all of this, including the last one, which is to create a message to buyer. So whenever your buyer gets an order confirmation, you can create a message for them and customize it and tell them whatever you want to tell them. So now let's go to the shop manager, and I'm going to show you guys all of this and how you do that. So on your shop manager, you can come to listings, and here you're going to be seeing all of your listings. Right now, I only have this one that is active. So I have already clicked on the star and featured this listing. I can easily unclick or click at it again. And I can also click on this gear icon and look at the options here. I could view it on Etsy, so look at it just as a customer would be seeing it, how the customer would see the listing, the title, everything. I can view the stats, as I said, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Okay, so here you can see how many visits that listing has had, how many orders you got, and the total revenue. So if you keep exploring the data, you can come back and see over here, which I really like, is the traffic sources. So you can see how much of that came from Etsy ads, how much was from Etsy app and Etsy other pages, how the customers encountered your listing, or directly on Etsy search. If someone went to the search box and searched for Bachelorette game and then found this listing, that's 8.5% of the 189. Also direct traffic. So that's traffic that you brought. So as I said here, direct visits from blogs or other websites. If you included the link of your product listing anywhere else on your Pinterest account or whatever, then it would be shown here, as well as Etsy marketing and SEO, and then social media. So this way you can see, for example, I could do a much better job with my social media accounts and marketing my Etsy shop through them, because right now I'm not bringing any traffic through social media. And if you keep scrolling down, another thing that's incredibly helpful, these are the exact search terms that customers have been typing when they found your listing. So very, very helpful for you to see, and maybe use these search terms on other social media platforms, because people might be using that as well, or for your Google ads and all of your marketing strategy. And if you had any sales directly from social media, it would show here a breakdown, so you could actually understand where you're performing well. Let's say you're doing a lot of sales through Pinterest, then you would see here the percentage, then you can really double down on it or increase the other social media platforms. And lastly, it will show here how many people have favorited this item. So, okay, going back to our listings and back here to the gear icon, you can, as I said, edit the listing, and that's going to open up in, on a new tab, and you'll be able to edit title, description, everything. You can create a copy, as we've already shown here before. If you want to duplicate this listing and make changes to it, you could deactivate the listing. So let's say you ran out or you're not able to produce the specific product anymore, then you can go ahead and just deactivate. You can renew the listing if it's been expired, or if you need to pay those 20 cents again to renew the listing. You could change the section easily here. You don't have to actually open and just quickly change the section here. You can share it to social media platforms. You can copy the link and just click here on share, or you can delete it. And the other thing that I want to show is actually here, when you click on edit, is at the very end, you see this marketing right here that we've already mentioned before, which is the Etsy offsite ads. And here you can choose if you want to be a part of the program or not. And if you don't want to do it, just click on maybe later and then publish listing right here. Or if you're happy with it, if you want Etsy to advertise your listing, which especially for me, who's selling a digital file, I'm all for it. I don't lose anything for any extra sales that we get. So I definitely want to be signed up for that. So I'll just go ahead and publish that. Or since I didn't make any changes, I'm going to cancel. Then the last thing I wanted to show, which is the message to buyer, how you get to is by going to settings, and then info and appearance. And then here you see some of your shop storefronts, and you can edit the announcement. And here you can actually click on message to buyers. And it says here that they're going to include this message on the receipt and in the emails they receive when they purchase something from your shop and they get the order confirmation. And specifically, if you have digital items, I would highly encourage you to create a message here for your buyers, maybe have instructions, especially if something a little bit more complicated, if they need to install anything like that, or just thanking them for their purchase. I highly encourage you to come here and create a custom message to your buyers. And yes, just wanted to show you guys all of these listing options when you're managing your listings, so you can achieve great success with your Etsy shop. And if you have any questions, be sure to leave those below, and let's get to the next video. let's talk about order fulfillment and what you have to do once a customer buys from you. So first of all, as soon as you get a new sale, you're going to be notified by Etsy. You're going to get an email, and it's going to look somewhat like this. We'll have the order number, all of the details, and if you need to purchase any shipping labels and all of that. So you're going to get notified. Also, if you log into Etsy, you're going to see the order there as well. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on your shop manager very soon. But first, let's talk about the different types of order fulfillment. So if you're selling digital downloads, your order is going to be automatically completed. You don't have to do anything. Your customer is going to receive an order confirmation email, and they may see the message that you've created, as we just talked about, thanking them from their order, and then they're going to have a link to where they can go, click, and download whatever they purchased. And if you're selling any type of print-on-demand products, then it's all up to your partner. Whenever you choose your partner and you make that integration, you connect to your Etsy account with Printful, for example, then they're going to be automatically receiving all of the customer details and the order details and information that they need in order to produce the product and to ship it to the customer. So you also don't have to do anything. If there are any issues, then they are going to email you and let you know, but you don't have to always be going and checking to see if everything is going according to plan. So they're responsible for all of the order completion. But if you're selling physical products, this is the category that will require the most work from you. So first, you have to pack the products and do that according to everything that we've already talked about it before in the previous video, making sure everything's safe and beautiful and clean and professional. Next, you're going to purchase labels, and you can purchase those shipping labels on Etsy that I'm going to show you, or you can purchase them somewhere else on USPS.com, DHL, wherever you want, or even at the post office, and then just grab the tracking number, and then we're going to input that into our order in order to complete it. And obviously, you have to ship it. So don't forget that if you have to go to the post office, or if you have to arrange some sort of pickup, then you have to do it in order for the customer to actually receive the order. So let's see how that looks now on your shop manager. Okay, so once you log in, and you're going to see here that you have the new orders, and under your orders and shipping, you're going to see this number here showing the number of new orders that you get, and you're going to see all of them right here. So this tab right here is for orders that you need to do something about. So most likely for physical products that you have to fulfill those orders yourself. Or while your print-on-demand partner is producing the order, it's still going to show up here because it won't be completed yet. But once this one is completed, or your print-on-demand one is completed, or as soon as you get a digital download order, it's going to automatically go to this tab right here, which is the completed tab. And I've actually already had 2 orders for my Bachelorette scavenger hunt, which was super exciting while I was still recording these videos and editing. So I'll be covering some of the customer information here to protect them. But this is what it would look like. It's going to give you some information of the order, obviously the product, the quantity, if they have used any coupon code, if they've already downloaded the file, or if they haven't downloaded yet. So this is what it's going to look like once completed. But going back to our new tab, where we're going to actually fulfill this order. So I've actually created a listing of a physical product, just one, in order to create this test order to show you guys how you would go about purchasing the shipping labels and completing your order. So you can come right here, and what you would do next, actually, let me move myself out of the way. So if you want to purchase your shipping labels through Etsy, which I would highly recommend because they do offer discounts, then you would go to this first button right here. And now you're going to see that even though you've already filled on your listing, you already put the weight and dimensions of the package, you could change that here when you're actually purchasing your labels. So if you need to change it, maybe they purchased an order of 5 different ones, and you need a special packaging, or if you don't have the same packaging that you had before when you were creating your listing, you can change it here. Let's say it's heavier, and it's going to update the price for you. Let's say it's 1 pound. I bet it's going to show a lot more. No, it's the same. So whenever you come here, you can just fill this out. Then just confirm the delivery service. It's going to show right here what the buyer has requested. So I've requested the USPS priority mail whenever I purchase, so that's what it's showing you, but you have other options. You could do overnight, you could do a slower one, which I would not recommend if you offer them a delivery service when you created your listing. And that's why I made sure to tell you guys to look through the services and the expected delivery date. If you offer the service to them, whether that's free or paid, make sure you do that one or better. But you can come here and you can select different ones as well. And the price is going to update. Let's see if I go to priority mail, now it's $23. So let's go back to US. And you can also choose to request a signature upon delivery. It's totally up to you if you're shipping something very valuable that could be worth it. For me, I'm not going to do that. A lot of people, they just expect their packages to be delivered to their porches. So if it's not something very valuable, I usually don't include this. If you want to add any insurance, you have this option as well. And then before you purchase, make sure you select here the correct date that you're going to be shipping that product. Let's say you are purchasing today, but you can only ship it tomorrow. Then you would change it here. And you can also add a note to your customer. So the customer is going to be receiving a shipping notification email. And if you add a note here, for example, thank you for your order, then you can save. and they will receive this little note whenever they receive their shipping confirmation. You also have the option to edit the shipping address, the delivery address. Let's say the customer made the sale and then they messaged you saying, hey, there was something wrong with my address, or could you ship to this one instead? You could actually edit here, and this is not my address. I just picked an address of a post office in Cincinnati. Okay, so once you're done and you've gone through all this, you can review your purchase, and it's going to show you right here just the total. If you want to send a copy to your email of the shipping confirmation, and if there's something you need to change, you can go back, or you can go ahead and click on purchase, and the order is going to be completed. But I'm going to cancel this because I'm not actually going to be shipping anything, and also because I want to show you, if you go ahead and you decide to purchase your shipping label somewhere else at the postal office or a different website, whenever you get that tracking number, all you have to do is come here and click on mark as complete. Then you're going to also have to choose when you actually ship or when you're going to be shipping. You can also add a note to your buyer. And here you're going to input the tracking number. You're going to choose the shipping carrier and the tracking number. And then you can mark as completed. But I'm not going to do that because I want to show you everything else that you can or might have to or want to do with your orders. The first one's actually you might want to send a message to your buyer, and that would be through this button right here. You might want to ask them a question or tell them something specifically about their order or the shipping information. So it's going to pull up their order number, and you can just type any message that you want here. You can also upload, attach an image or anything like that you want, and then you just click send. I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to show you the last button right here, which is these three little dots. And here you can print this order, the details of this order. You can update the ship by date. Let's say you won't be able to fulfill it within the processing time that you have committed to. Then you would come here and update that. You could mark it as a gift, and that is for your own records, just for you to see. For example, if I click that, it's just going to see here, marked as gift. So you can remember if you're packaging as a gift, then you can do that. And you can also cancel or refund the order. If you go to refund, then you're going to have an option to do a full refund or partial refund, but it would not cancel the order. But if you go to cancel, then it will automatically issue a full refund. So just so you know, if you cancel, it's going to automatically fully refund the order to the customer. But if you just want to refund them and still ship the item, if you want to do a partial refund, if there was something going on with the pricing and there was an issue, you can just click on refund. So I'm just going to show you refund first because the last thing I'm going to do is cancel this order, that it was just a test order. So all you have to do here is choose a reason. And here are the options. The buyer and shop owners agree to cancel the transaction, or you can item was damaged, you cannot fulfill it, anything like that. Or if it's just an account adjustment, let's say it's an account adjustment, and I just want to give them half of the order because it's going to take longer, whatever it is. You could click here, first of all, and write a message to the buyer, because when they receive the refund notification, they'll be able to see it. You can click here and issue a full refund. You see this automatically gets filled. You can also cancel the order if you want, but you're going to get this notification because there is a new cancel page that is going to be doing that, which is where we're going after this. But if you just want to issue a partial refund, you can just say here, for example, you want to do half of the amount, $250, then they're going to automatically calculate the tax that they had charged based on the total amount, and then at the end, you can review refund and then click on issue refund. But I'm going to go back to the orders and shipping because I'm going to be canceling this order. Okay, and you can do so, as I said, by clicking on the three buttons and then click on cancel. And here you're also going to be choosing a reason for canceling. It could be I'm declining to do the sale, or the item was lost, whatever it is. I'm going to say buyer and shop owner agree to cancel transaction. And just so you know, refund is going to be due. It's going to issue a full refund, as I mentioned. You can also write a message to the buyer, and then you can click on cancel order, which I'm going to do now. So I'm going to cancel this order. All right, it's been canceled. Now it's gone, and it's actually moved to the completed tab, and it's going to be showing here as canceled. Right here, it's a completed order, but not a fulfilled order, and it's going to show here if you issue any refund, if it was a partial refund or full refund, not only for canceled orders, but if I had partially refunded another order as well, it would show up here. And that's it. That's how you fulfill orders. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those below, and let's get to the next video. If you're going to be selling physical products, I wanted to quickly go through the shipping options that you have for your order fulfillment. So first, there's the direct order fulfillment, to where you are going to be the one responsible for preparing that package. So purchasing the shipping label, boxing everything, preparing that and taking it to the postal office, or arranging pickup. Or you could actually hire someone to be doing that. So every single order that you receive, they would be the ones to prepare the order, package, purchase the label, everything. So that's the direct shipping option. Next, you can partner with a fulfillment warehouse. So this way, you can actually ship your product in bulk, in a bigger box, to this fulfillment warehouse, and they're going to be able to store that product for you. And every time you receive an order, they will be the one responsible for preparing that order and packaging everything and shipping it to the customer. And sometimes we can completely automate this by giving this company access to all of your order details, so that you don't even need to be the one giving them all of details and creating those orders for them to actually go ahead and ship it. So it's something to consider, especially if you've been getting a lot of sales. So definitely a better solution than you missing out on sales by really increasing the price, or any other strategy that you try to actually control the volume of sales. You can actually consider partnering with them. And then lastly, you can actually use other sales channels to fulfill the order, and specifically sales channels that are fulfilling the same products to other customers. So for example, if you're selling on Amazon and Amazon's the one responsible for fulfilling your orders, then you can actually use Amazon to fulfill your Etsy orders as well. And there are tons of tutorials online, so that would depend on which types of sales channels that you're using. So I would definitely consider that option as well. And I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview in case you're feeling overwhelmed with all of the order fulfillment and everything that you need to do sometimes on a daily basis. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the next video. Before I let you go, I wanted to give you this Etsy success checklist, where I'm going to be going through some tips and tricks of things that I've already mentioned throughout the course, but I wanted to remind you, and also some other tips of things that I haven't mentioned before to ensure your Etsy success. So the first item is the importance of developing a brand, and not only throwing something out there or just posting a product listing. A lot of people who try to succeed on Etsy, they usually have a mentality of just, let me just test this out. But if you have the mentality of a business, of an entrepreneur, and start to develop a brand that people can recognize, that they can refer to their friends, that they will want to come back and see what else you have going on, what else you're offering, then that is definitely a key to your business success. Next, we have the importance of researching, validating, and improving throughout your product research phase. So whenever you're thinking about a product, obviously research what's already going on and what's selling well, things that are in high demand, things that people are searching for already. Then validate, make sure you can sell that it actually does have demand, that it does not infringe on any patents or anything like that. And then don't just copy something that is selling well. Absolutely improve on it. Differentiate. That's certainly a key of successful products and on all platforms, and Etsy is no different. Next, take advantage of the wonderful opportunity that is to offer creative packaging. As I mentioned many times, but I just want to remind you one more time that this is an opportunity for you to delight your customer and for you to upsell or to make sure they remember you, remember your brand, for them to connect with you on social media, for them to leave you a positive feedback or come back and buy other products. So do not forget, because when you don't do that, that is a huge missed opportunity. Next, optimize and re-optimize. So listing optimization, shop optimization is not a one-time thing. It's very important to optimize. As soon as you create a listing, you're going to get a boost, you're going to get some ranking, and you're going to be happy with that ranking. But sometimes there are going to be new competitors, or maybe depending on seasonality or whatever it is, to where you may or may not end up losing some ranking. And even if you don't, it's important to always go back to your product listings. And if you have lots of them, go back to your best sellers. But always take a look at your keywords, at your images, and keep re-optimizing. Do not forget that optimization doesn't just apply to text, but also to images. Next, get Etsy boosts. So take advantage of the boosts that Etsy gives for new listings and when you have a sale going on. So take that into consideration when you're developing a strategy. If you think a listing is not really doing that well, try creating a sale for it. And if you want a boost for your entire shop, then try creating new listings, offering new designs. Highly, highly recommend that. Next, add momentum to new listings by going to your social media platforms. If you have an email list, be sure to email all of your past customers, create coupon codes, create a sale. As I said, Etsy does give a boost, but when you really add the momentum to it and ride that wave, you can really skyrocket the success of that listing and of your entire shop. Next, follow seasons and trends. And I've already mentioned this here before, but do not forget, I know that throughout the business of running a business, we end up forgetting if there's an occasion coming up, or if it's fall right now, but Christmas is just around the corner, and maybe you could be developing something right now. Be sure to always keep that in mind, to follow seasons and trends. If there's a really successful movie that came out, or if you see some sort of pattern going on when you go shopping, and maybe you want to apply that to your products and follow that trend, I would bet that you would experience some really great increase in sales. Next, take advantage of Etsy integrations. Always go back to Etsy integrations, the tab that I showed you guys in the Shop Manager overview, and pay attention to the new integrations that they're offering. A lot of times, those integrations will save you a lot of time and money too, even if you have to pay for a certain tool. But if they can automate something for you that is taking a lot of your time that you could be spending researching your product, improving your current products, or reaching out to customers, or whatever it is, then it could definitely be worth it. Next, analyze your Etsy stats and develop strategies. Just like you should be re-optimizing your listings in your shop whenever you can on a periodically basis, I would encourage you to always keep going back to your Etsy stats and take a look at what's going on. If you're bringing in a lot of the customers that are shopping, or if it's mostly Etsy, maybe you can step up your social media game, or see your bestsellers list if they've been changing, or maybe if you should be developing similar products to the ones that are selling really well. So always keep going back and improving. It's a cycle that really pays off. Next, invest in killer graphics. I cannot stress this enough, the importance of graphics for any e-commerce business, because as we mentioned before, your customer cannot smell, cannot touch, they cannot see the 3D experience of your product. So invest in really high quality images and videos. And I promise you, especially on Etsy, because they're really all about graphics, and the image portions is so big. A lot of customers, as we mentioned before, only look at images before they make a purchasing decision. So definitely invest in killer graphics. Then get banners. Try to get those banners to grab the attention of your customers whenever you can. Some of these banners are the free shipping banner, the best seller, the sale, whenever you have a sale going on, they have the old price crossed off and the sale price in green. Also, when you're running low on stock, they have a little banner under your listing saying, hurry up, like giving that scarcity feeling. So that could be a strategy as well to grab the attention of your customers and give them an extra incentive for them to buy right away. Then utilize newly released features. So that goes for any tool, any social media tool, any platform, any application, all of this technology. They keep improving and releasing new features. And whenever they do that, they want to see how those features perform. So when you are one of the first ones to utilize something that they have just released, most likely they're going to give you a boost and give you more distribution because they want to see the results of that specific feature. So for example, if Etsy just launched the video feature, then make sure to get a video right away, no matter what it's about, as long as it's about your product. But it doesn't have to be something super professional or very commercial or anything like that. Just try to utilize as many new features as possible. So keep on the lookout for those and don't miss out on that trend. And then lastly, this is something I haven't mentioned before, and it's not something official. It's just something that I've heard from other Etsy sellers, which is to avoid going on vacation mode. And that is for two reasons. One, whenever you come back, a lot of sellers have reported to have had a lot of difficulty ranking for keywords that they were ranking really well before. So if they were selling, for example, wedding invitations, and they were ranking really well, and they went on vacation mode, when they came back, it was really difficult to get on that top position again. Maybe they were on page 2, or maybe they were on the bottom of the page, and sales were definitely not the same as before. Or even worse, there have been some sellers who said that after they came back from vacation mode, out of the blue, their Etsy seller account got deactivated, and they did not get any support from Etsy or any explanation. So I would just to recommend you and pass it on the information, try to avoid going on vacation mode as much as you can. If you're a little bit overwhelmed, maybe try increasing your prices or increasing your processing time, or maybe try hiring someone that can help you out, maybe with some part of the production or the shipping. So yes, I just wanted to leave you with this Etsy success checklist so you can always refer back to it and get reminded of some of the strategies that you've learned here throughout the course. And I hope this was helpful. So let's go ahead and get to the next video. Congratulations on completing the Etsy Shop Masterclass. Seriously, did you know that only 10% of students make it to this video and complete the entire course? That means that you're one of the top students who has ever enrolled, so seriously, congratulations to you. You now have all of the tools, resources, and knowledge that you need to skyrocket your Etsy shop success, and now there's only one last thing for you to do, and that is to take action. All of the information in the world means nothing if it's not applied. And I know it can seem overwhelming because we've shared a lot of information here in this course, but I want to encourage you to take just one seemingly small things you learn here in this course and implement it today. What this is going to do is, number one, that's going to get you started on getting the results that you want for your Etsy shop. But also, number two, that's going to start a chain reaction that's going to propel you to take more and more action and ultimately achieve the success in life you've been dreaming of. And lastly, if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you could leave an honest feedback about the course. That would not only help future students of the course, but it also help me understand what I'm doing well and also what I can improve on. You can do so by clicking on the leave a rating button at the top right corner of your screen. And don't forget that if you have any questions throughout your journey, you can always reach me by going to the Q&A section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And seriously, thank you so much for choosing me as your instructor on this exciting journey, and I'm looking forward to seeing your success.